YouTube, what is good, bruv gang, what is good, and we are back with another video. JRPGs as a genre have games that can take us on beautiful adventures with stories that really resonate with the heart, and for the most part, these stories and adventures are always coupled with a really cozy feeling experience throughout. I personally love the fact that JRPGs have a variety of games you could just sit back and unwind to, where combat isn't too challenging and the stories feel heartwarming, cozy and relaxing. So in this video, I wanted to share with you guys 5 of the best cozy JRPGs I feel you need to play. Lunar Silver Star Harmony. Now if you guys are new to the channel or know me well, you guys will know how much I love Lunar Silver Star Harmony, and it's actually a game I included in my JRPGs that I feel are a 10 out of 10 video, which I will be leaving a card to on screen. So Lunar Silver Star Harmony is a turn-based RPG and it's the third remake of the original 1992 version of Lunar the Silver Star. The story follows main protagonist Alex, a young boy from the small village of Berg, who sets out on a journey of fulfilling his dream of one day becoming the next Dragon Master. So this iteration of Lunar Silver Star Harmony on the PSP was actually my first introduction to the series, as I wasn't around to experience the original in 1992. So Lunar Silver Star Harmony is a game that has always stuck with me right from the moment I first played it. From its cozy and warm setting, portrayed through the peaceful town settings, and an extremely likeable cast of characters who were also well written, the game honestly just gave me that feel of playing through cartoons I used to watch as a kid. The simplistic yet beautifully told story really gave me that sense of adventure, and it's something that really drew me in right from the start of the game. The art style within this game was something that really made me fall in love with it further. The game has beautifully hand-drawn sprites and character portraits, and is something I feel really adds to the charm of the game. So for me personally, I think what makes Lunar Silver Star Harmony such a cozy game is the gameplay. It's simplistic, turn-based combat is never too much of a challenge, and where I have been told that this specific entry did maybe dumb down the gameplay challenge in a sense, I really believe it worked to the game's benefit. Being an older game with its aesthetic, very calm and cheerful vibe you get when playing throughout, I honestly loved that combat wasn't too much of a challenge and just meant I could sit back and enjoy an old school JRPG story. So whenever I'm recommending cozy JRPGs to play, the experience and feeling I had while playing Lunar Silver Star Harmony is honestly something I feel everyone can get enjoyment out of. And one day, I would honestly love to see a modern console port of this game so that more people can enjoy it. Lunar Silver Star Harmony will forever remain a JRPG close to my heart and is 100% one of my favourite cozy JRPGs I feel everyone needs to play. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. Now when I think about cozy JRPG experiences, the Dragon Quest series for me personally always sticks out to me, but one game in particular I would say is a cozy experience throughout would be Dragon Quest XI. So Dragon Quest XI is a turn-based RPG developed and published by Square Enix. The story follows the protagonist, the Luminary, a legendary hero who is chosen by the world tree Yggdrasil to save Adria from evil. So for me personally, I think the reason why I generally associate Dragon Quest XI with being a cozy experience is because even if you are a long-term fan of the series, or JRPGs as a whole, or even if you're new to both, I feel it's a game anyone could pick up and play and gives off that old school JRPG feeling throughout. I think the decision from Square Enix not to stray too far from what makes Dragon Quest, well, Dragon Quest is honestly the beauty of this game. Dragon Quest XI sticks to the same traditional turn-based combat we have all come to know and love from this series, and really makes it the perfect pick up and play cozy experience. Where I feel drastic changes will likely be made to conform to the modern standards of JRPGs and combat in the next entry in Dragon Quest XII, 11 honestly just has so many qualities about it I love in a JRPG. Now the story may not be the most complex thing, but it's well told to the point it can keep you engaged throughout with how well written each character is you meet along your journey and their different personalities. From Rab's grandpa-like wisdom to Sylvando's flamboyant nature, and Veronica's little big sister role, each of the characters all bounce off each other so well to give that cozy and lovable family feel while you embark with these characters on this grandiose adventure. As mentioned, I think the decision from Square Enix not to make this game stray too far from Dragon Quest traditions is honestly a big reason why it feels like such a cozy game for me to play. You never have to overthink when in combat, and for the most part, the gameplay loop is simple and fun and never gets stressful. So for me personally, Dragon Quest XI was such an amazing JRPG. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game, and whenever I think about cozy titles in the Dragon Quest series, this game is always at the forefront. It's a cozy experience from start to finish, and a cozy JRPG I feel everyone needs to sit back, relax and play. The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails. Now part of me was actually going to add Trails in the Sky to this list, which is probably a game I've gushed about enough here on the channel. But with the recent release of The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails, this was easily a game I had to add to this list of cozy JRPGs you need to play. So The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails is an action RPG from legendary developers Neon Falcon. The story follows Nayuta Herschel, a young aspiring researcher aiming to see what's further beyond the known world. Major events occur setting himself, his childhood friend Signa, and an otherworldly fairy named Noi on a journey to stop the plot of an evil madman from destroying the world known as Lost Heaven and his own world in the process. So for me personally, I pretty much went into this game blinded, as I never even knew there was an original PSP release in Japan back in 2012, so I went into this as a fresh experience, and man oh man did this game surprise me. Its super fun and addictive gameplay loop honestly just makes it the perfect pick up and play experience. So clocking in at around 19 hours for the main story, this was honestly the perfect cozy JRPG for me to play with how short the main story was, and coupled with the fact that I decided to pick up the game on the Switch, I found Boundless Trails to be the perfect game for me to get on after work for an hour or two to get some progress done on the main story, or even tackle some side missions which all had their own unique feel and really added to the gameplay experience. I think what makes Boundless Trails such a cozy experience is the setting. The game takes place on a small island called Remnant Island, and the plot being centered around Nayuta returning for summer holidays essentially really makes you feel like a kid again, going back to see friends for the summer and hanging out and just enjoying life. The small island setting really adds to the coziness of this JRPG experience. With not everything being boiled down to gameplay, setting for me is a big part of what makes a cozy JRPG, and the fact that the island was so small, you honestly by the end of the game felt like you personally knew all of the townsfolk on the island. Boundless Trails has such a simple yet fun and addictive combat loop, similar to Falcom's staple series in Ys. The combat and small segmented platform areas make levels all feel unique with their own different gimmicks, coupled with the boss fights which all felt like a decent challenge throughout. So for me personally, The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails is honestly a game I feel slipped under the radar in 2023, and is a game I feel is extremely underrated and could very well be considered a JRPG hidden gem. So if you're looking for a perfect pick up and play experience with a cozy feeling and really likeable cast of characters and gameplay loop, look no further than Boundless Trails, a cozy JRPG experience I 100% recommend and feel everyone needs to play. The Atelier series. Now, where I was going to talk about specific games in the Atelier series, I honestly feel the series as a whole easily has the most cozy and relaxing gameplay experiences in all of JRPGs. So the Atelier series is a series of turn-based RPGs with the common theme in each entry being alchemy, with each game telling its own unique story through different female main protagonists. Now for me personally, I have not played every Atelier entry out there, with my main favourites being the Iris, Kemia, Sophie and Ryza entries, but each game always gave me that same consistent cozy feeling, with each game adding something unique in the alchemy, story or combat department. I think the Atelier series' laid-back nature really works to its benefit, making it such an accessible series regardless of what entry in the series you decide to get into. I personally started with the Iris games back on the PS2, with Atelier Iris Eternal Mana being my first game in the series, but as mentioned, the games always gave me that same consistent feeling whenever I picked up a new game in the series to play. Now, the alchemy may not be my favourite part of the gameplay loop, but I always loved how each turn-based combat system in each one of the games was something new and different, where none of the games felt repetitive and always offered something unique. Even when it came to entries that had duologies or trilogies, developers Gus always done a great job at making each game feel like a new experience to the last. So each one of the many different female main protagonists throughout all have their own personalities and really add to the unique feeling of every new entry, with some going on to be fan favourites and series staples like Ryza for example. Whenever I think about newcomer friendly JRPG franchises, the Atelier series is always the first thing that comes to mind. Its simplistic, beautifully told stories and consistently fun and relaxing gameplay loop, coupled with beautiful worlds and charming cast of well written characters, really add something special to that cozy feel of the Atelier series as a whole. So for me personally, the Atelier series of games have always been games that whenever I just want to play something chilled and laid back, it's easily one of my go-to series, and is a big reason why it feels one of the best cozy JRPG series I feel everyone needs to play. The Pokemon series. So just like I mentioned previously with the Atelier series of games, I honestly couldn't pick a specific game in this series, as I honestly don't think any JRPG can compare to how cozy the Pokemon series of games as a whole feels. So Pokemon for most, myself included, may have been people's first ever entry into the genre of JRPGs without even realising. I am personally a massive fan of Pokemon and I've played every entry, with my first game being Silverback on the Game Boy Color. Pokemon is a series that from its first iteration back in the late 90s over here in the West has been a series that hasn't changed its formula, where each entry may have changed something to make it feel different to the rest, with different gimmicks to of course conform to modern standards of gaming, but for the most part, even if your first entry was Silver for example, and you picked up the latest entry in Scarlet and Violet, other than Pokemon changing and new ones being introduced with each passing entry, the gameplay loop has effectively stayed the same right from the series' inception. I think what really adds to the coziness of the Pokemon games is how charming each of its regions feels. Every game has a new region, with each locale feeling unique to said game. With the series as a whole being aimed at kids, its simplistic nature is just what makes Pokemon so beloved. You could be a veteran of the series or a newcomer to this series, it just makes for the perfect pick up and play experience anyone can sit back and have fun on. Now, if I had to pick a specific entry that I would consider to be cozy, then it would 100% have to be the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series of games. Now, if you're a fan of the channel or know me well, you will understand how much love I have for those specific set of games. Pokemon is a series that has been loved by many for years, and for me personally is a series that as long as it keeps going will always be a series of games that I play whenever the latest entry comes out. It's easily for me the coziest, fun and most relaxing JRPG experience anyone can pick up and play, and there's a massive reason why I feel it's the best cozy JRPG that's ever been made. So that'll do it for this video guys. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I'd love to know what some of your favourite cozy JRPGs are, so please let me know down below in the comments. So please like, sub, share if you're new, hit that notification bell so you get notified of my videos first, and I hope I can be you guys' #1 source for all JRPG news. So from me to you, this has been your bruv, D Big Bruv, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace!